Visit us at Swat&Vee channel with your questions to see how best we can help you out your process. Please don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel.
Only information he got from the city was this: you have to leave the Row Hotel today.
Freezing out here.
Our mayor is a slumlord.
So because of the cold weather, there's been a lot of attention on migrant families who are being evicted from local shelters after 60 days.
Everyone knows it has been freezing out here, and this new policy that evicts migrant families with children after 60 days has been in place for almost 2 weeks. Now behind me you can see the Roosevelt Hotel. This has been serving as a welcome center for newly arriving migrants, and now the reticketing center for migrant families with eviction notices.
Meanwhile, some migrant families have started being evicted from the Row Hotel in Midtown.
Forced out of the Row Hotel, this couple is just one of about 40 migrant families who were told their time is up. It's inconvenient, he said, referring to the eviction notice they received back in October while expecting a baby. The pregnancy in its final weeks and the stress I feel, she said, explaining she's 8 months pregnant and wishes officials made an exception.
Our mayor is a slumlord.
City council members and immigration advocates blasting Mayor Eric Adams and his administration for implementing a policy that evicts migrant families with children after 60 days. If these families cannot find their own housing within that time, they have to return to the Roosevelt Hotel and reapply for shelter. While a similar policy for single adult migrants has been in place for several months, this new recent policy change that now impacts migrant families with children has many, including the city council speaker, pushing back against the mayor.
I urge the mayor to abandon this counterproductive and cruel tactic and instead pursue more sound management.
Last week, the administration amended this policy so that pregnant migrants in their third trimester and women with newborn babies will not receive eviction notices until their babies turn 6 months old. In response to the rally, the Adams administration says they've had to make these drastic policy decisions because they are out of room and resources to care for such a large number of migrants, calling again for a federal solution. More than 170,000 migrants have received care since the spring of 2022, and 68,000 migrants are currently being housed by the city. Deputy Speaker Diana Ayala disagreed with the mayor that the city is out of room.
I've been in meetings where I have been told directly that one of the motives for this policy is really to make people uncomfortable enough. So I don't believe that the mayor is being honest.
Advocates also say that moving kids around to different shelters disrupts their education, with some kids being forced to bounce around to different schools.
They have not been getting all the help this administration claims they've been giving them. These human beings are being moved from shelter to shelter. Shelter staff have lost their mail and say that since they moved, they had to return their mail to sender. These are life-changing documents.
Now, according to a recent Siena College poll that came out this morning, more than 80% of New Yorkers say that the recent migrant influx is a serious problem. Reporting live, I'm Morgan Mackay. Steve and Teresa, back to you.
All right, Morgan, thank you.
The Row is one of more than 200 emergency shelters set up by the city during this migrant crisis. The surge of asylum seekers seeking shelter has put so much pressure on resources, officials implemented limits on shelter stays last fall. 30 days for singles and 60 days for families. Today marks the first time those restrictions were enforced on families after an extension over the holidays of about 2 weeks. It's a little hard because it's not easy to get the permission to work, says this mother. The city comptroller says he's taking action.
We are launching an investigation under the powers granted to the comptroller's office by the city charter into the city's implementation of this 60-day rule.
In a statement, a spokesperson for the mayor's office said, since this policy took effect, we have been in close contact with the comptroller on how this plan would work, which is why the step he is now taking is particularly puzzling. The city has said the goal is to help families move out of the shelter system. The problem is many of them are not ready for that. Immigration matters take time. For those who still need a place to stay, they can reapply for shelter at the Roosevelt.
Families that have arrived here, some have received placement Other families have already been reticketed to be reunited with friends and family with our help here in New York City and across the country.
According to the city, more than 160,000 migrants and asylum seekers have come looking for shelters since last spring. About 69,000 are currently in the shelter system. As the migrant crisis persists, many continue to come daily. There is no end to this in sight.
And I want to talk about another top issue, the border. Now, I love how eyes turn on and Biden's for a free and open border. Just tear down everything, let everybody come, no restrictions. Well, I used to be a bipartisan in this country, and it should be one again. I've been clear from the very beginning, the system is broken. My first day in office, I sent Congress a comprehensive plan on immigration reform. My friends on the other side have done nothing with it. Over and over, I've asked for resources to step up action at the border. In October, I asked Congress to fund for funding that would add another 22,000 additional border agents and officers, hundreds of new immigration judges to make the judgments on the spot, a new detection equipment to stop fentanyl from coming into the country. And by the way, I've worked with China and Mexico to slow the flow of fentanyl in the United States. As I speak, it's way down. So let me be clear. My team has been at the table for weeks now with a bipartisan group of senators to negotiate a deal, including border, because I believe we need significant policy changes at the border, including changes in our asylum system to ensure that we have authorities we need to control the border. And I'm ready to act. I hope God willing and the creek not rising, as my grandpa would say. I think next week we ought to be able to work out something, at least in the Senate.
A couple of minutes ago, we reported about the asylum seekers moving from Floyd Bennett Field in Brooklyn because of tonight's weather. But now, a different kind of movement. The migrant crisis taking a toll in Midtown Manhattan. Dozens of families forced out of their hotel shelter. The 40 families at the Row Hotel reaching the 60-day limit now imposed on their stay. Another mess for this crisis.
And Bill, so many of the kids of those 40 migrant families started their day going to school. They left from the Row Hotel this morning only to come back from school to find parents, mom and dad, in line here at the intake center at the Roosevelt School once again, reapplying for a more shelter, an extension, if you will. The city imposed a shelter limit in the 60-day notices to gently push asylum seekers towards more stable housing with family, with friends, to get off the city dime. Well, that happened for some migrant families, but not for others. Marianes Garcia's year-long stay at the Row Hotel in Midtown came to a sudden and abrupt end today. After a 60-day notice, the city exercised its shelter limit and evicted the 26-year-old and her 3 handsome boys. It's difficult, but we have to move forward, and we give thanks to God and the Row Hotel for taking us in. Garcia walked to the Roosevelt Hotel to reapply for shelter, but not everyone was ready to restart the application process. Angel Hernandez, also from Venezuela, will head south to reconnect with a family member in Philadelphia. That's exactly what city leaders designed the shelter limit to do. Move families to more stabilized housing. So I'm grateful for New York, said the 36-year-old father of 2 teenage boys. I'm grateful for the United States, grateful for everything, because the truth is, it's gone well. Many doors were opened for me. This morning, the city controller met face-to-face with Maria Quero, an evicted asylum seeker who is 8 months pregnant and has no idea where she'll rest her head tonight. Brad Lander told reporters he will launch an investigation into the city's shelter policies and protocols.
I really don't know what could be more cruel than what the city of New York is doing right now.
We're all doing this because we want to help people and making a plan with Maria so that when she has her baby, it could be a healthy baby.
Dr. Long there said that he and city staffers spent the last 60 to 90 days working with Maria and/or her husband to develop a housing plan moving forward. However, we talked to the husband this afternoon, and he told us the only information he got from the city was this: you have to leave the Row Hotel today.
I hope you guys found this video extremely helpful. If you know anybody that could benefit from this information, definitely make sure to share this video with them. We are all about empowering you with knowledge. So the more people that can benefit from this video, the more people we want watching this video. If you like this video, please make sure to hit that thumbs icon. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and hit on the notification bell for more immigration updates. Bye!